Hey there. So I just came in from getting some stuff outside that we left out in the car today, and well, before that I just watched the film, and you know what it is because you've seen the opening. But let's talk about this one here right now. Satan's Blade, the 30th anniversary edition, came out from Slasher Video, who did the did the work on it. That was picked up by Olive Films, and Olive pretty much put it out. There are some I've heard some things basically where they talked about that they made a different cover, and the cover art was changed to what Olive put on here. And well, here's the thing. Well, I'm going to get that part of the way first, then we're going to talk about the film. So, in the I'm pretty sure, and anybody that knows a little bit more about this movie can correct me on if they want to. But what I can tell, there's an instrumental that's done that shows a very different artwork for this film. That was, I think, going to be the artwork that was used on this here. However, man, it's nice art. It's not that. It's just that. See this here. For a long time, I would go into video stores, and one of the movies that I would want to rent would be Satan's Blade. This was the cover that I saw. Whether you saw it on Prism Video like I did or Galaxy, if you lived in the UK or in Canada, we are very close in many ways. This was the cover. If you live in the United States, I apologize for the cover art that you were given, even though I had nothing to do with it. I apologize for it anyway because it was really bad, and it's shown on the in the director's kind of an interview, kind of remembering Satan's Blade. So this time I did kind of watch that because this is a really low budget film, and this film here, this little tiny low budget film, actually made its way to the cover of Fangoria magazine. So we'll get to that too. But let's talk about the film first. We're going to talk about this here Blu-ray, let you know if I think it's worthy of picking up. And welcome to my 13th day for, I hope I got it right, because if not, you're going to see like a change in the, well, there'll be some like texting up there. I'm pretty sure it's the 13th. I'm doing a couple videos today actually to catch up. And you can see a scene from Satan's Blade there in the background. And that's, I'm not sure you can see it very well. It's probably kind of glaring that off the light. But let me tell you that the movie itself, we'll get to quality afterwards. You know, I don't really like to talk about quality a lot, and I'll tell you why in a couple minutes. But this movie here is fun. It is. It's like 85 minutes long. It's definitely not the best acted film in the world. There are some scenes where stopping and pausing are not exactly their thing. Think of that scene. Yeah, remember that scene in I'm sure everybody here has at least seen or heard of a movie called The Room. This is not like that, but there's some scenes here that kind of go fast, where they're basically like, no, hi, how's it going? It's going pretty good. What about you? Okay, I'm doing well. That's fantastic. You want to go up to the cabin? No, I think I'm going to go fishing right now. Do you want to go to the skiing with me? I think I'm going to stay inside. Okay, then I'm going to go fishing then. But I don't like going fishing on my own. You should. Well, you didn't mind being on your own last night. Are we still on that? That's not the scene where it's done in, but there's a couple scenes where it is done like that, kind of done in a good Lord breathe type of thing. However, this movie starts off with two people being murdered, which I'm pretty sure was inserted afterwards and to up the body count. And yeah, because it's like, probably not though. It's hard to explain. He said that he put clues throughout there on who the killer was, and I'm not gonna lie, I did know who the killer was, and I can see where there's a lot of stuff put in there to make it seem like it could be something else. But it was I can get it if you don't get the killer. I totally get that. But there's a couple things that actually made me lean towards that person being the killer. So there is a mystery aspect to it. But basically, there's two cabins. They're up in the woods. Okay, get this. So these people these two girls robbed this place, and they mentioned a third partner by the name of George. And the girl is going to kill George because she only wants there to be. She says she only wants to be two, but then she kills the other girl so that she's going to get off the $50,000 that they stole. This is kind of the opening thing. Then all of a sudden somebody comes and stabs her. And I guess we have to assume that it's George at the time. However, they talk about the fact that when other people come to there, so the pies are gotten out, and it's the next day basically. So It's been long enough for the bodies to be taken out and I guess just wash the walls a bit, but still be stained. So these two couples come up to take the cabin. It's the only cabin left, not the cabin up to Death Branch. But right after that, a van full of girls that are complete stereotypes. There's the kind of the frumpy one, the one that's having emotional problems, the friend one, the maybe it's a lesbian type of duo one, the big-breasted one, the kind of slutty but heart of gold one. Uh, yeah, so they come up and they ask for a cabin, but the only cabin left is a cabin where those two murders just happened in. So after the mother tells them the story of this guy that lived there years ago, and he was the only person who lived there, but then people started buying land there, so he got like went farther and farther up into the woods until he had nowhere to go, and then he started killing people, and said they killed him for. He said he was doing a God's mission, but it was actually Satan. So they don't say Satan, but they kind of lean towards a demonic force and talk about a knife. But every time the knife is mentioned, everybody kind of shies off and they don't want to talk about it. Right? So they don't want to really explain it too much. Man, I'm sweating. I should have waited and changed. But anyway, so if you take the cabin, I kid you not, this cabin where people just died, and they're loud. I mean, like this is not. There's no crime scene tape over it or anything like that. There's like, oh, we better not take the cabin because there might be still some evidence or some forensics or any of that stuff. So the girls are giving the cabin. It's actually a stain on the cabin wall. Let's get this up here. I want to keep this on the screen. And that's the cabin right there. And there's this like a scene, kind of like there's blood splattered design on the wall that's really never explained, and we see that same design on a kind of a rug, one of those wall rugs you put on your wall in the cabin, in both cabins actually, which are very similar. Now, then we proceed to see kind of a hokey romance story between this couple named I think Tony, and kind of like there's a third girlfriend in there. She seems like she's kind of slutty, but she just kind of wants to get Tony. Tony's the nice guy, but he's married and he's been like pretty much studying law for the last few years, and this is their vacation away to get him to get back on track. He's been pretty focused, so there hasn't been a lot of romance in their relationship, and she's felt like I guess that things are kind of like there, and she's seeing this like attractive younger girl come after him. So she feels kind of threatened rather than do anything. She pretty much stays home and kind of shies away from Tony. Tony, however, is a faithful husband, and he doesn't do anything. He actually gets kissed by this girl and says no. He says we can be friends, and it was different for this type of film. She didn't get into the bitchy mode where basically she's gonna like try and take her more. She didn't go and like aggressively go after Tony. There wasn't really enough time for that. But they did. I gotta say, they did give time to, whether you liked it or not. They gave time to develop the characters. The acting wasn't the greatest, so that can be a negative to some and a positive to some. For somebody like me who really like revels in these type of films, it was kind of a positive. So we got to see Tony and the wife. We saw way too much of their storyline and not enough of the five girls that were there and in it. So there's one girl there that's blonde, and she's really cute. She's not on screen enough, but you can tell from this first second you see her in a sweater that she is there for a prerequisite nude scene, and and it's true. It happens like right as she's getting killed. Basically, she's then the money shot. That's exposed. Her breasts are exposed, and I'll be honest with you. I'm watching this movie. My better half. She's gone upstairs now to study, but she did watch it. And I'm gonna give her props on that one. She even stayed to watch the Remembering Satan's Blade director's interview, which she really liked. I was gonna turn it off just before the ending, but she wanted to watch it right to the end. Now, so the I would have been pissed. I said, okay, if they don't show this girl, I said this in my basically, if they do not show this girl, this movie is a fail right there. Which kind of made a roll our eyes, but it's true. This is an exploitation film. This is what they do. Uh, of course, they did not disappoint. There's a dream sequence about a kind of a troll type killer, which comes out of nowhere really, because this girl's having problems. Sees her father died or something like that. You don't really get into it too much. You kind of like gloss over that fact, and then we have like pretty much it's a slaughter at the end when you finally, after going through all these characters things, just which is really kind of, what would I would say, padding of the film, maybe it's 85 minutes. We finally get to the murders, and the murders happen pretty fast. There's no real pacing. Like the pacing between the murders isn't the greatest. It all happens kind of fast and furious, but I didn't mind it actually. I kind of had fun with it, and it's pretty obvious once you see the killer on screen that the killer is who the killer is, and that's by that time you're like, oh, that's the killer, or either you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's the killer, or you may go, oh, really? Either way, it's okay because it's not something that's going to take a lot of thought and process into. So overall, I did enjoy this film. I thought it was a really fun little indie slasher film. Remember, this movie's made. It was very inexpensive to make. The pretty much actors I probably had. I'm not sure if they have, but I never looked into it. But I think these were probably the first jobs for a lot of these actors here, or if not, they were pretty early jobs. The director himself, he also wrote, directed, and produced that, so that should give you a little hint about this here. Uh, it was fun. I did have fun with this movie. This 30 years later, does this movie stand the test of time? Here's the thing: if you're not a fan of cheesy ass slasher films that with bad acting and just like a bunch of cheesiness and stuff in it, this isn't going to win you over to that camp. However, if you do enjoy these type of films, then this film is going to be a fun little romp for you. It only runs 85 minutes long, so it's not that long of time that you're taking out of your life. And will I watch this movie again? Yes, I will. And I have to thank Mark, Killer Nerd 70, basically, who actually got me this film here. When I was one that I wanted so bad, and I couldn't get. Mark was like, I got this movie, didn't like that much. Do you want it? And I'm like, hell yes, I want that movie. I've been seeing this cover for years and never seen this movie. So this is not me going back to my childhood and having seen this movie. This is me going to adult Aaron, basically, who has not seen the film, who's only seen the box cover for years. For years, I've only seen the box cover. This movie's been since '84. I've been seeing this cover since about '84, and I've never been able to get my hands on a copy of it or get it in. This movie was actually rented a lot probably because this really nice cover art when where I used to live at. So I can never get my hands on a copy of it. And this was the very first time that I actually got to sit down and watch Satan's Blade. I thought I'd seen it before, but I'm pretty sure that I haven't. Though there were scenes in it that were reminiscent. I enjoyed it. I really did. I thought that the girls were fun. The acting was not the best. The some direction was different, but they put their heart into it, and I really like when I see that in the film. He mentioned that when he was being interviewed, Scott Castillo Jr. said that he may actually think about doing Satan's Blade 2. He may actually kickstart it, and if he did, I would put in for that. I would fund that a bit because I did enjoy it. So I had a lot of fun with it. And he makes these, and he says right away, this isn't an art form for him. This is work. This is what he does. This is how he takes it. He knows that there's sexploitation part to it. When he was making this movie, he had to go back and he had to shoot extra scenes that he said, okay, I needed a kind of a hint of a lesbian scene. I needed another nude, another like a topless scene. I needed a couple other murders in the film. So I added them on there so that we could actually, so I could get distribution. And that hits hard for me because when I was writing films, when I remember sending in the script, it pretty much came back with, we want to get more exploitive of this. Can you put a bit more nudity? Is it possible to get in a rape scene? And can you get a little bit more disturbing with the film? So I actually had to rewrite to add those sequences so that they would be in the film. That film never ever got made, and I'm kind of glad about that because it was probably wasn't my best work. And But I do understand what he means when he's talking about the fact that studios or producers sometimes will send it back and say, no, we need more. This isn't enough. So there is an interview on here with the director. There's a couple actually. One was done, it seemed really kind of awkwardly, which I think Slasher Video did, and I didn't really get much in that one, so I just turned out to the second one. And I think basically the Remembering Satan's Blade directors, it looked like it may have been his wife or something that was interviewing him. She pretty much stayed quiet for most of it. She was like an older lady, and she did a good job. But there wasn't much she had to do. She just sat back. She did the beginning of it, and she seemed a little bit nervous, but she let him tell his stories, and she looked like somebody that may have heard his stories a few times. So she just sat back, and she pretty much let him go on and do what he wanted to do. He was actually a veteran who was in Vietnam. He did I think he said 2 tours, and he came back, and he actually mentions the fact that when he came back there, they weren't they got spit on and called baby killer or something. He mentions that in a kind of passing when he's trying to get this thing out, and it's a sad aspect. I'm not going to talk about my politics or my thoughts on war or anything like that. I just think it's tragic that stuff happens either way. That war actually has to happen, and that people that have to go out and do it, and in a lot of cases don't want to, but they have this is their job. They're in the army. Get that type of treatment. But let's not make this to a political thing. Either way, I don't want to get into that type of stuff. But I just wanted to say it was interesting that he was a Vietnam veteran that had made the film, and you can see certain things. I'm not sure if he had dealt with any PTSD or any of that stuff, but he definitely had some OCD. And when he's taking out stuff, he keeps going back to he shows 2 VHS covers, this kind of one here, and he shows the other cover, the American one, and he keeps fixing the VHS. If you watch the interview, you'll see he keeps adjusting and fixing them, and things it's an OCD thing. I have OCD, everybody has it to a certain extent, and you can pick up certain things in there that that he has. The interview was actually pretty good. He showed a lot of stuff. He was really proud, and I actually got a little choked up when he showed the issue of Fangoria that he was on the side, that was on the cover of. That's a big deal for any horror film to be in Fango, let alone have the horror poster shown on the cover of Fangoria magazine, especially in the early days. It was number 42 or 43, I think. So good for him. Good for him for taking out the Fango and showing it and being so proud. And I felt it made my heart kind of swell a bit, because it was nice. It was nice to see that. So now I guess the picture and stuff like that. So this is a new high definition 2K transfer of the film. I'm not going to talk to you about bitrate or any of that stuff, because I don't. This is what I'm going to say. The film this was a really low budget film, and I'm guessing this probably wasn't the shot wasn't Steven Spielberg basically shooting this film, though it does have a George Lucas thing that I'll mention in a minute. But overall I think that the quality of the transfer was definitely good. And there's some dark scenes that are really dark that you really can't pick out a lot in, but it really doesn't matter. You can see it, and overall, the stuff that you really need to see, you can see. There are a couple of dark scenes in there. They didn't have a lot of lighting. There's not a lot of money for that, for the dark scenes, which I'm guessing is why they kept it mostly in 2 cabins. They do a good job with the film. And I thought personally that the quality of it was good. And here's what I'm going to get into on my slight rant. I don't talk. You'll see. I'll mention if I like the quality of the film and stuff like that, but I won't mention. You never see me going into the technical aspects of framing or bitrate or anything like that, because my channel is about the movies themselves, the passion that you feel when you watch something like this. When that it's the cheesy, fun stuff. No matter what it is, if it's Gone with the Wind, or if it's Satan's Blade. I want to deal with on here my experiences in watching the movies, how I feel about collecting films, and how they make me feel. There are a lot of, I guess, there's a lot of like collectors and younger collectors especially that will get in and they will talk to you about the bit rate and the transfer and all that type of stuff. And that's not me. That's not my deal. Because I want to know about the film itself. I want to know how the director felt making the film. I will talk to you guys about features on a Blu-ray. I will talk to you about how I felt the movie went. I'm not going to talk to you about if I think this was framed correctly here, or if I think it was that the transfer is better than this transfer over somewhere else. And I'm definitely not going to talk to you about things that like in the real technical aspects of it. And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't know a lot of technical aspects of this all this stuff. I love film, and I love, like, when I say I watch film, I deconstruct film itself, but that's the film itself. I will take apart to see like exactly where the lighting was and where the dolly shots were and the boom mics. And I love if I'm watching a low budget movie and I see a boom mic shot. That's not like, oh my god, they didn't mat that right. It's like I'm like, this is awesome. This is the raw way of like seeing a lot of this film work, and this is what I love. I love film. I really do. And I truly enjoy stuff like this. I love this cover. There was a much more polished type of cover that you will see if you have the movie in the instrumental number 1. I don't think it suited this actual thing. I think this is awesome. This is actually kind of like the cover. We actually have a slasher sticker like you would have on a VHS tape back in the day on here, and that's amazing that they did that. That makes me so excited and so happy. There's an interview on here. Within the interview, the director talks about one thing that really makes he's proud of, and it's the fact that there was a knife that's thrown and it goes into a tree and near the end of the film, and he did it himself. He did it, and he did it in one take. He got that knife into the tree, and then he had to come around because he was playing the fisherman that would see the knife. And there's a reason. You'll find out about that when you watch the movie. And he's so proud of that scene. It's like when he talks about the Fangoria and he takes it out, and he's so proud, and you can see the pride. And that's what I want to see. I don't care about seeing the technical aspects of this, and this. I want to see the emotions and the passion that goes on within these films, and I hope to God that is what you guys get out of my every video that I make. Whether it's passion or lack of passion for a film, because I don't really like it. You understand that the original 35 millimeter film was supplied to do this one here, and I think the quality was pretty damn good. It's I enjoy it a lot. Satan's Blade is one of those movies that you know it's not going to be a huge quality movie. You're not going in to watch this thing. You know, if you're watching a movie called Satan's Blade and you see this cover and you come in, this is not exactly what I expected. What did you expect? It's a movie called Satan's Blade, done in 1984 on an extremely low budget. There is no way that you can go in unless you just want to go in and say, well, this isn't what I thought. No, it is exactly what you thought it was. It's a low budget 1984 slasher film. There's no pretense to this movie at all. Satan's Blade, literally, it's not like it's a misnomer on the film either, because that title, it makes sense when you watch the film. And that's why I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Satan's Blade. And the more I talk about it, there's the thing. I enjoy talking about this film because this film actually filled me with a lot of joy. I just had fun. I had a lot of fun. This is one of those movies where I have a lot of fun watching this. So much fun. It was it's what it was. My friend Brandon would call this like a journey into an hypnosis, and I can understand what he means. But what a journey! What a fun journey for me. a lot of people are going to hate this movie. They're going to be bored by the fact that they actually take the time to focus on a couple characters and their like relationship and say shut up and kill people. And I will totally get that. I completely understand like that aspect of it, and I can understand a lot of people. I can understand when Mark said, this wasn't his type of movie. I understand that because this is definitely not everybody's type of movie, but it was mine. It was my type of movie. Thank you again, Mark, you for the awesomeness. And by the way, when I talk about the fact that I am not into the technical aspect and all that stuff, that is not a knock on the people that really get into that type of stuff, because that's what they like. That's their bag. That's their thing. And albeit from me to like take away from the way that somebody wants to take something. Just don't lose the film along the way. Don't get so caught up in all the bells and whistles and all the shininess that you lose the aspect that you started when you started watching these films. The heart of actually watching movies. That's what I want to see, guys. That's what I want to see on here. I want to see you guys come out of there and say, you know what, this movie was good. Or I have an old DVD copy of such and such, and it's not the best, but I love the movie, and I turn it on, and the copy's even worse because I've watched it so many times. And I'll probably grab the Blu-ray edition of it when it comes out. But I just love owning that movie, and that's what I want to see. I want to see The Passion. And my contest, which is coming up, is going to deal a lot with The Passion. And we're not just going to talk about Blu-ray. We're going to be talking about other formats as well. So, Satan's Blade. Again, one last time, Killer Nerd, Mark, my buddy, my pal, Fran Cathode. Yeah, and I gotta say, all the Cathode guys have been incredible. And I'm always the dissenting guy, because they're so like such great guys. I just got to take an aside here for a second, and I apologize, but I do have to. And they'll be like, I don't like this, this scene was missing, or like, I don't like the quality of this film. I'm like, then don't buy the film. I like this. But it's never like done in like anger or mad or maybe a grumpy old man type of thing. So, I'm the older guy. I'm all about the movie. I just, and they're like, they're younger. And they dig into the Blu-ray stuff a lot, so. And I'm that guy I'm the different Vice. I'm the Vice that's like, and they're like, I'm sure there's times when like, let us rant. And then, I'll do a rant on something totally different. But, yeah. That's Lauren, Brandon, oh man, Mark, Sean, all of them, all the guys there. They're fantastic guys. And good friends. Really good friends, actually. Seriously, great guys. If you haven't watched their channels, watch Cathode, you really should. I don't always get on there, but those guys, even when I'm not on there, they actually somehow manage to put off a fantastic program. Great stuff. I was catching up on some views last night on some stuff. I watched some Parsnip, I watched some Tidy Walnuts, both fantastic guys who I'm starting to catch up on their stuff with again. It's not a shout-out video. I just wanted to mention a couple people here. Oh man, there's so many that I would like to mention right now. I'll mention them in another video. I'm going to do a shout-out video where I mention everybody, and we'll get them. It'll probably be like a 2 or 3 part because there's so many people on there that I talked to, and I want to thank everybody that gave me basically said, good job with the 1,000 subscribers. Watch for the contest. All this stuff here is leading up to the contest. The fact that I watched Satan's Blade is leading up to the contest. This rant about the passion of cinema is leading up to the contest, and I am excited about doing the contest. So, Satan's Blade 30th anniversary. I do recommend it if you're a slasher fan. If you like these cheesy things, remember it's a cheesy low-budget film. You do know what you're getting in for. It's a movie called Satan's Blade. There is a bit of nudity. There's a bit of like blood in there. They even give you a little bit of extra gore by putting in like a nightmare sequence, which was actually kind of cool, kind of cheesy but cool. Enjoy it, watch it, have fun. It's Saturday night. Go have a great Saturday. Thanks for watching my review, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed watching the film. Have a great night, guys. It's time for tea, and right now, say hello to my better half who's upstairs. My cat Smokey was hiding over there just sleeping. And for me, you know it, I'm out of here. Have a good one.